During times of uncertainty, it's comforting to know we have a healthcare system in our community that's been committed to supporting us for well over a century. In this current time, we are standing together, and our bond is stronger than ever. KDMC, caring for our community like no one else can.
All eyes were on Doug today, and I don't think we were surprised, at the performance. We watched him in the bullpen, but it was pretty electric. I mean, at times he was 92, 94, hard slider, curveball, changeup. He had all four pitches working, and continued to battle. But it was nice to see Drew. Drew's kind of been the unsung hero of the staff in the sense that he's pitched outstanding. His numbers have been off the charts as far as statistics and ERA, and giving us an opportunity to win on Tuesday. And then of course he gets thrusted into that Saturday start a couple weeks ago. Does a great job. We talked to him, or I talked to him earlier in the week, and just say, hey, this is what the plan is. Don't really know how far Doug can go. Maybe it's 3, maybe it's 5, not really sure. But whenever he comes out, you're going to go into the game, give our bullpen some length, and you're not really sure how kids are going to take it. But he was awesome. He said, I'll do whatever you need me to do. And he really, when you look back at this, everybody will talk about Doug, and he was outstanding. But those 3 innings where Drew was really, really good to keep them off the board. And of course Taylor continues to pitch well at the end.
Now, Taylor didn't throw a lot of pitches in 2 appearances, but what can you get from him tomorrow?
Usually we check, about a half an hour before the game when they play catch. Usually he bounces back pretty good. You're right. It wasn't a lot of pitches. And then the first game he threw 12. Can't be much more than that. 15, here. So I would think he would be okay, but we'll check. If he's able to go, then obviously we'll run him out there if we have a lead. If he's not, then we'll have to go to somebody else.
Ben, go ahead.
Yeah, Mike, going back to when Doug got hurt, that pectoral strain, how unique was that as far as getting him, rehabbing him, and just the throwing program? Did it change at all, or did y'all have to treat it differently than other?
Well, I don't know if what you're asking about the rehab. I'm sure they treated the the pec differently than they treat elbows and shoulders and all of that. I'm not exactly sure, Ben, if I understand your question.
Oh, just more or less how unique it was and how you had to bring him along.
Yeah, I mean, I think and if that's what you're asking, I think that's really the thing that I've tried to convey to you guys is, the tough thing for this is, there's not a lot of information out there. We've tried hard, Dr. Luber, along with Josh Porter. I mean, we've reached out to Dr. Andrews and orthopedics, all over the country, from the East to New Orleans to out West in California, UCLA. They've reached out to a lot of different people to try to, and nobody's seen it in a thrower, and so it was something that happened in the weight room. And so, we were, again, there was some angst there of, how do we know when he's better? How do we, how much, what's the timetable? And everybody kind of fell somewhere between 2 and 3 weeks. And Doug really wanted to pitch badly last week because, it doesn't hurt him, necessarily to throw, it just hurts in between. So that was kind of tough, when you try to keep somebody like Doug from doing what they do best. It's, emotionally, it's tough for him. But I think that's the tough thing. And we just didn't know much about it. And we tried to take the conservative route that, if we can get through, the Auburn weekend, which we did, we gave our best shot for him to kind of take off and hopefully be healthy, the rest of the way. And we'll see.
Adam, go ahead.
Coach, could you talk a little bit about how Satan played?
No, he was outstanding, and that you can if you I don't know if you can tell on TV. You guys are watching it on the computer. The hamstrings. It's not pulled anymore, but it's it gets stiff on him when he sits down, and it's just hard for him to move around a lot. But offensively, he brings so much to our team, and obviously the big home run, 4 hits, and a big home run in Game 1 wins us the ball game. But just kind of our offensive spark plug.
Aaron, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Coach. Obviously TJ gave you a nice spark today down in the 9-hole, and I'm just kind of curious what you're seeing in his development at this stage of his career.
Yeah, he just, I know you don't get to see us, play a lot, Aaron, but when Chatagnier went down after the Texas trip with a pulled hamstring, he really got the most reps, at second base, and really looked like he was ready to play. True freshman, looked like he was ready to play. But of course, when Chatagnier comes back and you got Gonzalez at short and Elko at third, there's just not a lot of room. And so we grabbed them and said, hey, you're playing well. If you want at bats, we're going to have to put you in the outfield. But no, it's because we're trying to get you at bats, not because we're trying to push you out of the infield. There's just not a lot of room there right now. And, to his credit, he accepted it. He said, hey, I just want to play. I'll play anywhere. And so we stuck him in left field in the midweek. And then all of a sudden we had some issues at first base with Cale Baker, fracturing his hamate bone, and then LaFleur getting mono. So the simple move defensively for us was to move Elko to first, bench back to the infield, and that opens up center field. So we stuck him in center field, and he's been terrific. He's been terrific defensively. A guy that's never really played the outfield, running around there. And then obviously you saw him swing the bat today, and he's going to have a bright career here.
Chase, go ahead.
Yeah, Mike, would rest at this point help Peyton's hamstring, or is it just time in general? Like, how do you sort of, expedite this process?
Yeah, and I don't know that answer. I wish I did. We talked about the treatment. Last week, when he broke up some of that scar tissue, he was fine until Monday, and Monday was his worst day. We tried to hold him out. We held him out of Tuesday's game. And, it seems as the more he's out there, more he's on it, the tighter it gets. But it's not pulled. Like if you ask him, it's just, I think it's just uncomfortable. And so I don't know if it's one of these where we got to continue to push through it, or we just got to rest him when we can. And, we'll see how he feels tomorrow.
What'd you think of Gunner's day today?
It's a shame, it's a shame when you're really good, like him, you can be really critical. But he was good today, maybe not, as sharp as he normally is. I just don't think his fastball command was great today. The velo was, wasn't as explosive, I think. I don't know. I'll have to see the chart. But at the end of the day, and this is not taking anything away from them, because we got a jam shot home run or a cap shot by Dunhurst that doesn't normally get out, but it was a scary day, 2:00, with fly balls going to right field, and he hung in there. He showed that why he's the ace. He hung in there and kept it to 3 solo home runs, and comes out at 3-1, and just kept it close. And that's what aces do. They don't just let it blow up on them. And, proud of him. He hung in there, and I think he struck out 10. So it's not, 10 and, 3 solo home runs, and 2 of them probably don't get out on a normal day.
All right, we'll go back to Parrish.
Mike, I was going to follow up on that and ask about Gunner's home run balls. Did you feel like he got too much of the plate, or did they hit good pitches?
I think really, bad pitches by me. One of them, both Williamson and Diodata, were fastballs that I think, the Diodata probably ran over a little bit of the plate, and he just got it, but, got too much of it, just really crushed it. And that was a no doubter. Williamson crushed his, but it looked like he had a little top spin and, just got out. but it's it happens, you know, and you know, it's part of the deal. But you know, he pitches out of jams. There's nobody on base. He doesn't walk people. You know, so if that's a bad day, well, you know, we got a lot of good days in front of us.
All right, Ben, go ahead.
Yeah, Mike, you mentioned earlier this week that Max was going to throw a bullpen, and y'all are just going to kind of see where he is. Where is he right now after you watched him pitch a little bit more?
Jovi?
Yeah, Chofi.
Yeah, he's eligible to pitch. He could throw tomorrow. Came up to me. He threw, want to say on Tuesday. Is that right? Tuesday. I believe he threw Tuesday. He feels great. He says he's ready to go. So you know, he's an option tomorrow. If he doesn't throw tomorrow, then there's no doubt we will get him in the game on Tuesday.
Anything else for Coach? All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.